NASA sent the Voyager spacecraft out into deep space. This song was one of 4 American tunes included on the golden record that it carried. This record was designed to demonstrate the highest cultural achievements of human civilization. It's fun to think of some bug-eyed alien somewhere out there in the vastness of space-time bopping along to this great rock and roll classic. Here's the famous intro solo. And this is played over a standard rock and roll 12 bar in the key of B flat. Spend a few minutes playing through those chords just to get properly orientated to the sequence, as B flat is, for most blues or rock guitarists, a slightly unusual key to find yourself in. The solo on the original version of this song starts off naked, that is to say without any backing, apart from the odd whack on the drums. The bass and rhythm guitar parts don't really kick in until the 5th bar. So to get the feel for how the solo is going to fit against the 12 bar, you're better off playing through the rhythm part something like this. 1, 2, 3. And that gives you some idea of how the rhythm actually fits. Okay, now let's look at this solo in detail. We start off in the E-shaped position for the B flat chord, so that's oriented here at fret 6. And we're using that familiar bar chord shape with the E shape. We start on the minor 3rd note and string together these 3 notes, minor 3rd to major 3rd slide, then the 5th note, then the 6th note. Then we launch into a series of double stops on the root and 5th notes. Now you can hear there's 9 notes there, and you can sort of think of them as 3 groups of 3. But the timing is what catches most people out here. The first group of 3 and the second group of 3 have the emphasis on the 1st note. So it's and then the third group of 3 has the emphasis on the 3rd note, because that falls on the next, the first beat of the next bar. So if I do that first quickly, and then slowly, you can pick up that timing from that. Now that first beat of the next bar then links into this little rundown, and that rundown goes via the flatted 7th note, the 6th, the 5th, and then we jump across to the minor 3rd, correct it to the major 3rd, and then anchor it down to the root note. So far we've got do that once more slowly. next phrase uses the bottom root and fifth note here, and that's just one bar played straight in straight eighths as a double stop, so the pick's covering both the A string and the D string, and that's at the 8th fret there. Nice and easy. So far we've got this is followed by a clever little altered double stop riff that goes, and this is using the 3rd and 5th notes of the chord and then adding the 6th on and off there. So first we slide into it. This is from the 5th and 6th fret to the 6th and 7th frets. Then the added 6th gets added with the little finger here. And that's a kind of echo of the underlying added 6th shuffle pattern, really. You can hear that. And then it's kind of tailed off into this little run down the major scale. It'll slide down from the 3rd note to the 2nd, and then the root there, B flat at the 3rd fret on the G string, and then we come down to the 6th note of the scale underneath that, at the 5th fret on the D string. So all together in slow motion. But actually this is played pretty fast. It comes after this riff, like that. So that's probably technically the hardest lick of the whole tune. What I'm going to advise is it's quite easy to fall into the trap of thinking it's easiest to play with your 1st and 2nd fingers. That gives you a real problem with that run down there. It's hard to play that accurately. So I strongly advise from the outset, trying to use your weaker fingers here. That's your 2nd and 3rd finger. With the pinky adding the 6th there. And then it's dead easy to go, because that finger will fall on that note there. Much easier than going. So that's my little tip of the day. Okay, so that's the whole of that first line, so let's just review that slowly. We count to 3 and then we come in on the and, 4 and. So it's 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. Sort of faster speed, that's 1, 2, 3. Okay, now that may well take a fair bit of practice, so don't be afraid to rewind the video at this stage and go back over the detail there and get that line down and consolidated before you move on to the next one. Okay, now the next line just uses one lick, but it repeats it in a very rhythmically clever way. Let's see if I can show you. So let's look at the detail. What we're doing here is we're playing a unison bend from the 4th note of the B flat scale, bending it up to tune with the 5th note. And then occasionally also catching that top root note there as well to make that a double stop. That only happens twice if we want to be precise. So let's listen to the rhythm of the first bar. It's da 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 da. And then the next bar, it sort of turns it inside out and comes in from that double stop to the bend. So phrase 1, phrase 2, do that slowly, phrase 1, phrase 2, the third bar is exactly the same as the first bar, and then the fourth bar, it uses a single note, but it sort of emphasises in that, and then brings the double stop in on the last part of the bar, so that's so all together we've got and if I put that all together full speed, now I don't think you'll find this solo taught with this degree of detail anywhere else, but I do think it's important to appreciate the subtlety of the rhythmic variation in this line, and indeed in Chuck Berry's playing in general. In a lot of pub bands, you'll get the lead guitarist just steamrolling through that line, something like, and if you listen to Chuck Berry carefully, you'll hear his playing is a great deal more subtle than that. And that, to my mind, is why we're still listening to and loving his guitar playing 50 years on. Okay, let's get on to the last line of a solo. So this line starts with the unison bend again, and then the double stop with the root and fifth, and then we climb back down via the flat 7, the 6th and the 5th there on the second string from fret 9, 8 and 6. So that's, now you'll find it quite easy here to just let the pick sweep across there. So the pick literally just falls like that to string those notes together. Then we come back and kind of take a second bite at that run, coming right up to the 9th note of the scale, the 8th fret, back to the roots, and again back down via the flat 7, 6 and 5th. This is followed by a little double stop on the 6th and 4th. So those two across there, the 8th fret. Followed by a double stop using the 5th and the 3rd. Altered to include the major 3rd there. So, all together in slow motion. And connected together. It then goes back up to the root notes. Once more down via the flat 7, 6 and 5th, and then we finish with 2 unison bends, then the double stop on the 4th and 6th, the minor 3rd, and back down to the roots. Sorry. When you play it on its own, The timing sounds a bit odd, but when you string it all together non-stop, it all fits in. So once more, the whole line in slow motion. And at full speed. Now, once you've been over the detail of that solo enough times to help you feel confident you can play each part of it separately, you may like to access the tab and the backing tracks from the toolbox to right at the screen to help you string it all together. Now, synchronising your entry into this solo against the backing track is a bit of a knack, because there are long silent bits where you have to keep playing and without losing time. In fact, it's a very good test of accurate timekeeping skill. The trick is to get the count in right. I'll just show you what I mean by that. So you have to remember that the lead comes in on the last 3 half beats of the 4th bar of the count in. So you're going to get 4 taps on the drum to help you set the pace. And you count along with that something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, and 4, and. So those notes come in on the and, 4, and 4, and 1. And from then on, everything is dead even. And as long as you just keep relaxed, you'll find that the backing track will synchronise with you. So, let's just try that against the slow backing track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3. Tracks each have one run through with me playing the lead over it, just to help remind you of that timing, and then the track loops on with just drums, bass and rhythm guitar, and you're left to play the lead guitar. Well, I wish you hours of fun with that, and then in the next lesson we're going to look at the rest of the detail on this song, including the neat little fills that Chuck Berry plays over the chorus, and also of course the 2-verse solo. So I look forward to seeing you in that next lesson.